Have you ever clung so tightly to something only to find it slipping further away? Have you tried so hard to control a situation, a relationship, or a dream only to watch it crumble in your hands? If you've experienced this, you're not alone. In fact, this deep tension between holding on and letting go is one of the most universal struggles in life. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we explore a powerful story from Master Hsing, a spiritual teacher whose life and words reveal one of the greatest paradoxes of all. Sometimes, only by letting go do we truly gain, and when we cling, we often suffer the most. Let's walk through this wisdom, not as philosophy, but as a living truth that can change the way you experience everything from loss to love, ambition to anxiety. Master Hsing once said, "Let go, and you'll have peace. Hold on, and you'll suffer." It's simple, almost too simple, but behind this sentence lies the entire architecture of inner liberation. Let's examine this idea more closely. Most people think letting go means giving up, weakness, failure, but in reality, letting go is often the most powerful act of spiritual strength. Means surrendering not to fate, but to wisdom, not to loss, but to life. Master Hsing's own life is a testament to this. Born into poverty, separated from his mother at a young age, and facing war, political turmoil, and exile, he had every reason to hold on to bitterness, to hold on to the past, to hold on to what was lost. But he didn't. He let go, not of memory or integrity, but of attachment. That shift allowed him to rise, to serve, to touch millions. He turned grief into compassion, loss into clarity, chaos into creation. He let go and built temples, schools, a global movement of peace and kindness. This is not accidental. This is spiritual mastery. Because letting go is not passive. It's deeply active. It's choosing peace over control, wisdom over ego, truth over illusion. And it's the only path that leads to freedom. Let's talk about what letting go really means. It doesn't mean becoming numb. It doesn't mean avoiding pain. It means facing reality without resistance. It means releasing the need for things to be different in order to be okay. It means no longer demanding life meet your expectations before you allow yourself to rest. And that is the birthplace of true peace. Now, think of your own life. What are you still holding on to? Grudge, regret, relationship that no longer nourishes your growth, a version of yourself you feel obligated to uphold? What would happen if you released that grip, not recklessly, but with intention? You'd create space. And space is where healing happens, where wisdom breathes, where new possibilities can take root. One of the most profound truths of Buddhism is that suffering is caused not by what happens, but by our attachment to how we think it should have happened. Master Hsing understood this deeply. He was not free from adversity. He was free in the face of it. Because he chose the path of release, not resistance. And in that release, he found joy, not fleeting pleasure, but abiding peace. This is an invitation for you. Yes, what am I afraid to let go of? Then ask, who might I become if I did? This isn't about abandoning responsibility. It's about releasing illusion. Letting go of the illusion of control, the illusion of permanence, the illusion that worth is tied to possession or position. It's returning to the truth that everything changes, that clinging creates tension. That peace is not something we fake, it's something we uncover when the noise of attachment quiets. Let's continue exploring how this wisdom unfolds in real lives. Think about the times you tried to force an outcome. Maybe it was a relationship you kept giving, fixing, chasing, hoping, only to find yourself more exhausted and less loved. Or perhaps it was a dream you clung to so tightly that you lost your joy in the process. What if, in these moments, letting go wasn't a failure, but a form of trust? Trust that if something is meant for you, it will stay. Trust that life has its own intelligence. Trust that your worth isn't tied to whether things go your way. This shift in perspective is revolutionary. It transforms struggle into surrender, tension into tenderness, and control into compassion. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care from a place of freedom. What fear you love with openness, what obsession you serve with joy, what attachment to outcome. And this, ultimately, is what Master Hsing taught, not just in words, but in the way he lived. He didn't strive for fame, yet became world-renowned. He didn't chase power, yet influenced governments and global leaders. Why? Because he didn't hold tightly to ego. You let go, and that created space for grace to flow through him. That's the paradox. The less you grasp, the more life can give you. It's not magic. It's alignment. Alignment with truth, with impermanence, with the deeper rhythm of life that is always moving, whether you fight it or follow it. This rhythm is not static, it's deeply wise. Just like the seasons turn, so too do our lives. Trying to hold on to summer in the heart of winter will only freeze your soul. But when you let go, you begin to feel the gifts of each season, the shedding of fall, the stillness of winter, the renewal of spring. You learn to dance with change, not fear it. You learn to release what no longer serves, not because it's bad, but because you're growing. And growth requires space. Letting go gives you that space. Not just outside, but inside. Space in your mind, your heart, your energy field. Softens the top places in your body. It opens the clenched fists of your expectations. And in that opening, you reconnect with your essence, with presence, with peace. That's what makes this path so powerful. Not because it changes life, but because it changes how you meet life. With grace, with trust, with the quiet courage to say, I may not understand this now, but I choose peace anyway. This is the kind of strength the world needs. Not more force, more flow, not more control, more consciousness. And it begins with you. With one breath, one choice, one moment of letting go. Letting go of the story, the should, the scarcity, the shame, and standing in the truth that you are already whole, already held, already home. Let's explore how letting go transforms some of the most common areas of life: relationships, goals, identity. Relationships. Letting go means releasing the need to be right, but be validated, to be in control. Means loving the other person as they are, not as you wish them to be. Means seeing them clearly, without your projections. And when the relationship is no longer aligned, letting go may releasing the person themselves, and not out of anger, but out of love. Love for your path, love for theirs, and love for the truth that staying would only deepen the suffering. Goals. Letting go doesn't mean you stop aspiring, it means you release attachment to the outcome. You show up with your full heart. You work with discipline and devotion. But you let go of needing it to look a certain way, because you trust that the path will unfold in service to your growth, not just your plan. This mindset allows you to stay rooted even when things don't go your way. To find meaning in the process, not just the result. To keep growing up, not because you're guaranteed success, but because showing up is who you are. And in identity, letting go means shedding the masks, the roles, the fixed ideas of who you're supposed to be. Means being willing to outgrow your past. To say, I am not my story, and not my trauma, and not my reputation or my resume. I am something deeper, something freer, something that evolves with every breath. And the more you let go of who you were, the more space you create for who you're becoming. That's the gift of this path. Not certainty, but spaciences, not control, but connection, not having more, but needing less. And in that simplicity, you discover a peace that cannot be taken from you, because it wasn't built by the world. It was built by your willingness to let the world go. So, let me ask you again, what are you holding on to that's holding you back? Is it a wound, fear, fixed idea of who you think you should be? Letting go is not abandonment, it's a sacred choice to trust the deeper flow of life, choose to rest in the arms of the present moment instead of fighting the tide. Hsing showed us that letting go isn't about lows, it's about receiving peace, receiving clarity, receiving the freedom that only rises when your hands are no longer clenched around what has passed. This freedom is not far away, begins now, this breath, this choice. So as you leave this video, I invite you to ask yourself, what would it look like to let go just a little? What new space might open in your heart, your mind, your life? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might help someone else find the courage to release what's been weighing them down. And if this message resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this reminder. If you'd like to support this channel and help us continue spreading wisdom like this, consider becoming a member. Every small act of support keeps the light shining. Until next time, remember, peace isn't something you find. It's something you uncover when you finally let go.